Cesar Escutia. I'm Mr. Quest Advanced Drafting class, and I partook in various projects involving both multi-core machines and simple ones, such as an engine, a can crusher, an I-beam clamp, or in this case, a tool for the wheel therapy club here at Central. We were approached from Mr. Lundgren in order to make it, and it took the sketching of both Allen wrenches and a normal wrench you see here. Brainstorming was taken to combine the two parts, and the solution I came up with was to put cavities in the actual wrench that would aid in assembling the bikes in order to insert the Allen wrenches. As it turns out, the tool was inferior to other projects that were done by other students in the class, and therefore was not 3D printed as planned, and instead it was 3D printed by Tyler Harrison, who made an objectively superior part. Before settling on another project, I decided to partake in a few smaller projects, such as this chair part. One of the chairs in our class actually broke, and instead of ordering a new part or even a new chair, I decided to sketch out the broken one and recreate it in Inventor after sketching it on paper and transferring it. As it turns out, this was the first model of the chair part. These ribs here turned out to be too thick, and it would not fit inside the chair. Now, while this was a mistake, the nature of engineering ensures that this can be fixed and improved upon, and made the ribs thinner, and now the chair works perfectly. The second small project was a logo that was asked to be made for the Rotary International Association for a doghouse that they were going to donate. This part was simple enough that I didn't need to sketch it, and I just instead traced off a picture I found on the internet. It was 3D printed, and you can see it now on that doghouse. The fourth and main project of the entire semester was a B12 engine block made from plans on the internet. With the level of detail that some of the parts needed, it would have been convoluted to make it out of pencil and paper. It was therefore omitted, and in its place, extra research of the engine in general, along with the pistons, so that every function of the engine can be understood, and I would know if I were making any mistakes while modeling. The modeling of the engine took several weeks, of which about half were spent just on the cylinders alone because of how much detail went into them. Not much trouble was experienced with the rest of the parts, which led to the assembled and the engine was finished. This, however, is not its best in the state that Inventor leaves it, and therefore was put into Autodesk Showcase and rendered so that every shadow and detail of the model can be shown off. Yet again, I wasn't satisfied once this was done, and decided to modify the original V12 engine so that it would not be so small and not be usable in a 3D printer. The V8 engine received modifications on obviously the cylinders, along with the crankshaft and the carter, would be able to be printed and be better suited for just a showing model as to what the 3D printer can do. This is supposed to make the engine able to be 3D printed and be a superior supply model. By far my biggest accomplishment in CAD. And you can see the actual assemblies in CAD. And here you can see the 3D printed engine that I designed. Before the semester ended, I wanted to revisit an assembly that I worked on in a 2016 state drafting competition, the can crusher. The project was small and fairly insignificant, however it was a good transition to the practice I'd almost get into as the 2017 drafting competition draws closer. The competition rules and environment were mimicked, and especially the time aspect of it, which is the most important part, which indicated that I was finishing the assemblies in 2/3 of the allowed time. Slightly over an hour when I would have an hour and a half for the result. Along with the can crusher, I also made an I-beam clamp, which you can see here. This was the 2015 regional, and you can see I finished it again slightly over an hour, along with this table vise, which again, slightly over an hour, which is a good projection for me going into the 2017 state drafting competition.